Hey everyone, welcome to the month of September. But before you know it, let me warn you about the September curse. Yes, the curse of September on stock markets, on bond markets, on crypto markets. Well, what is it? Did you know that in the last 99 years, in the month of September, since the S&P started in 1926, right up to 2004, September has been the worst month. Yes, the worst month ever in the history of the stock markets. Now look at this chart, ladies and gentlemen. You can see that even from 1950 right up to 2024, in the last 75 years, September has again and August been the worst month in the history of the stock markets. Did you also know that out of the last 5 years, September registered 4 out of 5 years in which September markets were really down very badly, particularly so in 2022. Now, how does one actually fight that? Well, essentially, this is what we're going to talk about in our video. We just finished our last investment class just one day ago. That is actually on 30th of August, and this is exactly what we shared in my class. Yes, you can see, ladies and gentlemen, this class is actually attended by roughly 30 high net worth individuals, family offices, as well as index fund managers. And you also have another 30 attending online. We actually, this time around, had people from Saudi Arabia, Riyadh, UAE, Dubai attending our classes. So they have to wake up very early in the morning just to attend our classes. Can you just imagine that? And we basically have heartfelt thanks for all these people who come in to join our classes for our support. As you can see, this is our 36th year in investment education, and we do it so well and so proud that your portfolios continue multiplying your returns. So the first thing about September curse is that one is to be prepared for it, and that's why we forewarn this in our investment class. And because we like you as our viewers, we want to forewarn you. Now, how does one avoid it then? Well, essentially, we share that contrary to being fearful, we become greedy in the month of September because in the run up towards August, we basically have been lightening our portfolios because we reckoned that there are a few underlying trends which we'll share with you in this video as what we have shared in our last classes, that will actually help to propel and position your portfolio to continue to enjoy double, not or even triple digit returns for the rest of this year. Well, how do we do it? You may ask. Well, exactly as what my shirt say. We help you to look up, we help you to get up, and we help you to never give up. And how do we do that? Well, do this exercise.
Look up, get up, and don't ever give up. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30.
One per day, 30 for the month. I can do it, you can do it. Look up, never give up. To recognize and prepare to buy for September, release your funds as and when markets actually hit a new high, as what we have done in August. Secondly, do recognize the underlying trends that are actually happening. Do you know that in the month of August alone, there's been a big change in the crypto market? Almost 2 billion have flowed into this Ethereum as opposed to Bitcoin. Now, historically, Bitcoin has attracted most amount of funds, but for the month of August, Ethereum saw 2 billion inflows, whereas the inflows into Bitcoin ETFs was almost 80% lower at 400 million. So in this case, you can see that there's a shifting of sands, so to speak. So do recognize this, because this would mean that the new ETFs pertaining to Ethereum, treasury companies that are actually coming up with respect to Ethereum, will be the new powerhouses to be looking out for. In our class just 1 day ago, on Saturday, on 30th of August, we shared that there are a lot of things that's happening in the US, making it a crypto market in the world. One is that the Genius Act has been passed. Two, in this quarter, we are going to see the Clarity Act being passed. The Clarity Act pertains to defining whether crypto is a commodity or is it an equity? Well, to the simplest mind, they may mean nothing to you. But essentially, the key thing, ladies and gentlemen, is recognizing that legislation, deregulation drives market. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are not like other proponents, we are not like other institutions that only tell you to trade naked bitcoins or leverage bitcoins or crypto. We basically recognize instead changes in deregulation and propel you to put into structured investments where you are able to make big amount of money. For example, everybody thought that Bitcoin running from 1,000 to 100,000 made a lot of money. That's fine. Okay, but did you not know that firms behind Bitcoin, that is treasury firms like MicroStrategy, make much more than what Bitcoin was able to do? Now, this is what we do. We identify for you identities, identify for you institutions that are able to actually encapsulate on changes in deregulation. In this case, the movement towards stablecoin. As you know, stablecoin is actually a fiat currency that is actually linked to a fiat currency, be it the treasury bill or the US dollar. Now, you can see that essentially when this is being passed into legislation, crypto lending becomes easily available. So this will underline exactly what we experienced just 4 years ago. Now, one of our favorite stocks is actually Coinbase, as you can see, ladies and gentlemen. And it has delivered despite the huge amount of volatility, huge five swings in the last 4 years. But all in all, it delivered a 1,000% return for us. Now, ladies and gentlemen, move away from the Singapore market because you can see, that the Singapore market traded 266 million, from, or rather 26 million in the month of June. Yes, the whole of the month of June for all SGX stocks. In July, that's the latest figures, they traded 33.8. Wow, a big jump for all the stocks in a single month. But just look at this. This is Nvidia, results and trading in just 1 day, last Friday. So on last Friday, you can see that Nvidia traded low 173, high 178. Total volume 243 million. So if you take the 243 million multiplied by the average price within that day, it's 175.5, for example, you get a total value traded in a single day on one single stock, that's Nvidia in the US, at 43.7 billion. Compare this to SGX, where the total trading volume in a single month for the whole market is 33.6 million, not billion, compared to Nvidia 42.7 billion in one single day. This means that in an hour it traded almost 6.5 billion and just under 2 million in 1 second. So understand, ladies and gentlemen, that episodic changes happens in the market. And that's what we talk about in our investment class. The next of which is on 15th of November. So as you can see, the one that's encircled there, we are going to concentrate a lot on the shifting sands and the seismic changes happening in the crypto market. Not so much about trading or leverage ETFs or essentially Bitcoin or Ethereum or XRP or Solana or BNB. But we look at shifting deregulation changes and how it will power some of the cryptos finding new strategies, be it either treasury companies, SPACs, or new exchanges. We look at essentially how the new legislation, particularly on the Clarity Act that's coming out this coming quarter or even next, will impact the pricing and the evolution of the crypto market, particularly Ethereum treasury companies like BNMR, as well as actually others. So be be in the forefront of the crypto market. Join us for our next class because in our class we tell you what's happening internationally. Just because in Singapore we hear so little of that doesn't actually make it, you know, uh, an uninvestable asset class. Yes, the volatility is there, but mind you, ladies and gentlemen, if you know how to manage the volatility, there's such a thing called high risk, great returns. And that's where we help you to look up, get up, and never give up because we tell you where to be looking. Till us then.